latest report, we have, I pointed out some key things for gold, what we were looking at on the dollar in terms of the drop, what we were looking at in terms of a potential bottom forming on the on gold, and dollar hitting supply, US dollar, Japanese yen hitting supply. The only one that didn't was the US Swiss, but we know that US CAD hit supply. And we had this situation with oil. Okay, so let's take a look at what we found with the positions. So gold, they increased their longs from 262 to 263, and over the last few weeks, they've been increasing their shorts. Okay, over the last few weeks. So increasing shorts down here at these lows. I'm not quite convinced that price is going to drop right now. I think there's a decent evidence in the markets that we're going to get a rally. Monthly demand is still holding on gold, and when we look at the euro and the dollar, we can see that price has declined, contacted the demand, and now look what's happening on the charts. Now price is moving up. Why is it moving up? Because demand is in play, and it's come down to hit the body of that area here. So go to the top of the body, okay, and that's exactly where prices hit. Now you remember what I've said. This might have been in level 1 that I mentioned it, but I'll mention it again. When you have price in trends, right? If the monthly trend was up and the weekly trend was up, and there was a weekly area of demand nested in this monthly area of demand, we would expect it to hold. If the weekly and monthly trends were up, we would expect it to hold. But when there are no trends, zones from a lower time frame sometimes get taken out if they are nested in a higher time frame zone. So that is what happened here. So it's not out of the ordinary to see that. So that's what happened here. And what happened was we have a weekly area of supply that's been created. So obviously that's the obstacle that needs to be removed for more upside. So if price comes up to that weekly, the institutions are either going to use that weekly supply to push the price down and break through the demand on the monthly, or they're going to remove that weekly supply to facilitate a move higher. So that's what it comes down to right now. So the move up is not out of the ordinary right now. So we go over to oil.
Sorry, can I just on that? So on that daily, Kev, that demand is out at the bottom now, yeah. On the daily.
Yeah, it's out on the daily.
And you put a switch in there on the supply. Okay.
So we have something like this now.
Yeah. Cool. Okay.
And we could get something like, because the weekly is here, we could get something like this. If it comes down, it can do that. Otherwise, it'll take this out and go lower and break through the monthly demand zone. So this demand on the daily could play a significant role in how price will end up playing out.
Okay.
Oil, they're not doing much with oil. They closed off some shorts to 139 at these highs, which is interesting. They also reduced their longs. So reducing longs, profit taking, causing price to drop. I'm not completely convinced at this point that price is going to decline in any great fashion. I'm not completely convinced. I think from looking at the US CAD, seeing what's happening with the Canadian dollar, I think there's a good chance that we see more highs from here. So it's a rally, a pause, and then the next leg up like this. And on the weekly, we're getting like a bait and switch type of situation. That could happen. I think there's a good chance for that. US dollar, since contracts expired, they initially reduced their short positions from 32 to 20,000, but they've since started increasing them again as price was rallying up. So it looks like down near the lows, they reduced their shorts, then they piled in longs to rally price up to break through a weekly area of supply. Now we're inside the monthly area of supply, and we're starting to see them increasing their shorts again. So obviously it's a little bit too early to know what they're doing based on the positions, because if you look here, you'll see that they're still neutral. Okay, since contracts expired, they're still neutral. But just by looking at the chart, we know that monthly supply is in play. We see that the euro has a similar area of demand. We see that gold is bottoming inside of a demand zone. So all this leads us to suspect that it's very likely we start to see price turnover. So as the weeks unfold, I'll be looking at the data to see if shorts will continue to rally from here and see what they do with their long positions. So it's likely we see it drop, but it's a little bit early to tell. Aussie,